Good evening and welcome to our Top 5% Awards Recognition Ceremony. First off, thank you for being here this evening. I know many of you have done double duty. You were here last night for Senior Awards Night. You're back this evening for Top 5%. This is one of my favorite nights of the year. Our Top 5%, we have this year there are 28 students in the Top 5%. Each of those students has a GPA well above 4. They have taken rigorous classes, they've taken honors classes, AP classes. Most of them have somewhere between 24 and 26 credits of high school. You need 21 to graduate, so they far exceeded our expectations of requirements for graduation. Many, if not all of them, have high school credit coming out of middle school for the courses they've selected and taken. So we really have the best and the brightest and the most motivated from the class of 2015 here with us this evening. And yes, absolutely. They truly are scholars. Not only are they intelligent, but they go the extra mile, they work hard. And tonight, we've asked them to honor the teachers or educators who've impacted them most during their educational career. That is really the parameters of the evening. They can honor anyone they choose. How they select the person is totally unique to them. It's very personal to them. So if you're one of the people selected, please feel free to talk to the student. They're going to read why they selected you. And talk about the impact you've had on them. So for us, makes this a very exciting evening and something that we treasure because we think the relationship between a teacher and a student is a very powerful relationship, an important relationship, and the impact can be long-lasting. And when it works well, a teacher can inspire, they can challenge, they can motivate, they can comfort, they provide care, they show passion, they build confidence in their students, they provoke thought, and they make us better students and better people. So tonight is a chance for our students to recognize a staff member that's done that for them, and that's a really important thing and a powerful thing, and it really speaks to what we talk about with our students of being a complete person. We talk early on about in kindergarten all the way through this year as seniors, thank people, recognize people, acknowledge what they've done for you, because none of us have gotten to the point where we are in our lives on our own. So tonight we've asked our seniors, our top 5%, to do that. We're excited to hear them do it and to see the teachers they've recognized. And that is such a powerful thing for me personally as an educator. And I thank you everyone for being here. At this point in time, it is my distinct honor to introduce the Superintendent of Strongsville City Schools, Mr. John Krupinski. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm the reason they had to adjust the mic. It was probably set for Mark, and I'm a little shorter. Okay, I'm a lot shorter. I don't know about that either. First of all, I want to commend each and every student for the accomplishment of being in the top 5% of your graduating class. That is in itself an awesome accomplishment. This accomplishment is really an acknowledgement of your passion for learning and your dedication to become the best student and person you can be. Obviously, however, this journey to this point has really been a team effort. And I want to commend all the parents for your support, your guidance, and your time, perhaps from preschool and before that, on and now into their senior year. It truly began as parents way back when you began to read to your child prior to preschool. Those early experiences on vacations, speaking to them about topics at the dinner table, challenging them to be the best they can be, listening to them, and continuing to express your high expectations for their achievement. And then, of course, there are all those spelling lists, projects that I so loved as a parent, especially when they were told to me the day before they were due, and we had to quickly get them accomplished, sometimes together. I'm sorry for that. I want to commend also all of our teachers, from preschool perhaps in Strongsville City Schools, through your elementary and your middle school years, and now your high school years. Teachers have played an important role in motivating, assisting, engaging you in learning, and sometimes perhaps cajoling you a little bit in that learning experience. But in the end, you did it. I'd like to share this poem. It's called Two Sculptors, and it reads, I dreamed I saw a studio and watched two sculptors there. The clay they used was a child's mind, and they fashioned it with care. One was a teacher. The tools they used were books, music, art. Today, it would be smartboards and various other technology tools. The other, a parent, who worked with a guiding hand and a gentle, loving heart. Day after day, the teacher taught carefully, deftly, and surely, while the parent worked by their side and polished and smoothed it o'er. And when at last their task was done, they were proud of what they had wrought. Each agreed they would not have been as successful if either had worked alone. For behind the parent stood the school, and behind the teacher, the home. But in the end, students, you did it. You found something to hold on to, something that motivated you, and something that inspired you. You see, our lives are a series of experiences, each of which makes us better, even though sometimes it's hard to realize that. When everything seems to be going against us, remember this, that even a plane takes off against the wind, not with it. Ben Franklin once stated, the recipe for success, in my mind, focuses on 4 key ingredients. Choose something you love, give it your best, seize your opportunities, and be a member of a team. And I want to emphasize that point because you can know all the book knowledge, be a great learner independently, but in today's world, you have to be a part of a team. Whatever occupation you choose, you will be a part of a team. You'll have to get along with others, you'll have to cooperate with others, you'll have to collaborate with others, you'll have to work with others. And that's an important skill to embellish, and I'm sure you've done some of those tasks already in some of the service projects and all the activities that you've been involved in. Working with others is very important in whatever career you will choose. The greatest achievement many of us have is to make the most of our potential. You see, excellence is not a singular act, but it's really a habit. You are what you repeatedly do. Brian Tracy once said this, those who develop the ability to continuously acquire new and better forms of knowledge that they can apply to their work and to their lives will be the successful individuals in the future. You've done a great job to reach this pinnacle of 5% of your graduating class. I certainly wish you the best going forward because you have so much more to accomplish.
The order of events for this evening, at this point, we're going to start recognizing our top 5%, and then we then proceed to read their statement about the teacher they picked or educator they picked. We will announce the student, where they're going to college. They will come up, they'll read the presentation, staff member will come up. We will present them with the Apple Award, and they will go across the stage. Cassidy, our Art Student of the Year over here, is waving to us. She will take your picture, and then the next student can come up when Mr. Breckner calls them. So at this point in time, it is my pleasure to bring Mr. Steve Breckner to the stage, or the podium, I should say. He is the 12th grade assistant principal. Mr. Breckner, welcome.
The first student to come up this evening is Robert Berardi. He will be attending the University of Indianapolis, majoring in biomedical engineering. Robert, come on up.
Can you hear me? Okay. Few people have helped me as much as Mrs. Klein has throughout my high school career. She has changed physics into a foreign language, into a slightly less foreign language. She allowed me to recognize physics as a potential career choice, and I'm going to use what she helped me learn in AP, both years of AP Physics to get a physics degree, or to get a physics degree and engineering degree next year at University of Indianapolis. Mrs. Klein has no doubt helped me academically, but I picked her because her impact has reached outside the classroom. In fact, her whole family has been involved. Perhaps the most humbling is her two sons, Corbin and Layton. She has shared with me several instances of the two boys pretending to be me when they play sports, which it's pretty humbling. This allowed me to recognize that there's more people who see your impact and look up to you than you actually realize. And your impact reaches more people, like I said, as you actually realize. I can't thank Mrs. Klein enough, as well as Mr. Klein, for helping me realize my true potential and helping me shape me into the person I am today. Mrs. Klein, I was truly blessed to have you as a teacher, and thank you for everything you've done for me.
The next student is Grant Breiter. He is going to be attending Ithaca College, majoring in neuroscience and/or film. Grant, come on up.
I apologize to those of you who were here for the senior night awards. This is the exact same speech I gave last night. That being said, I truly believe that these words deserve repeating because, well, they're all true. So, Mr. Tomino has known me better as a person than any other teacher I have had. In spite of this, he has always been able to see potential in me that no one else recognized, including myself. He taught me to view my mind and my character as something worth developing, and as a consequence, I've attempted to do just that, to develop my mind and my character with the hope that I may one day realize whatever it was that he saw in me as early as the fall of freshman year. What progress I have made thus far would not have come about without his continued support. Academically, he always did more than was required of him. He has provided me with extensive additional help, even for assignments in subjects that he didn't teach. And he was always willing to debate with me at length about topics discussed in class, even if our sparring continued long after the bell had rung. From listening to him and conversing with him, I have learned to consider multiple perspectives on any given issue and to tread thoughtfully and judiciously. This lesson has not only shaped my approach to schoolwork, it has transformed the way I look at the world. Mr. Tomino has been equally invested in my success outside of the classroom. He has been my mentor on a variety of topics, from the college search to leading Strongsville's social studies honorary to life in general. He has always been dependable, and although he is often sarcastic, he has always been sincere as well. I cannot speak for all his students, but with me at least, Mr. Tomino has accomplished the goal of all those who devote their lives to educating young people, to not just make students more knowledgeable and intelligent, but to also give students the confidence and the guidance they need to discover who they are and who they may become. So I would like to invite Mr. Tomino on the stage.
The next senior is Madison Brown. She will be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in psychology. Madison, if you would come up.
I have only had Mr. Klein as a teacher this year for my math class. Throughout this year, though, he has turned math into my favorite class, which I never thought was possible. I have an interest in it that I've never had before, and I enjoy it more than I thought that I ever would. I'm surprised at how much I look forward to the challenge of all our tests and our homework. However, I know that this has more to do with my teacher than with the actual subject. Mr. Klein is always passionate about everything that he teaches us, and he constantly keeps up a great energy, even during first period. He keeps us engaged during class, and sometimes it doesn't even feel like we're working when we are. You can tell when a teacher truly cares about what he is teaching, and Mr. Klein definitely does. He makes everything we do seem exciting and important to his students, which is due to the fact that he truly finds everything we learn about exciting. He also shows us that his students are his priority. He cares that we do well and that we understand what he is teaching us. He is always trying to keep our best interests in mind when it comes to homework and tests, and we know that everything that he gives us is important. Most importantly, though, he is always pushing us to not only do our best, but to go beyond that. He challenges us because he believes in the potential of each of his students. All in all, it's clear how much Mr. Klein cares about all his students and everything that he teaches us, which is both noticeable and an important quality in a good teacher. Thank you, Mr. Klein.
Next up, Brooke Delvin. She will also be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in biomedical engineering. Brooke.
Though I have had Mr. Sorge as my teacher for only a year, I feel as though he has had a powerful influence not only on my education, but also on the way I see myself. As a student in AP English, I knew from the beginning that I would struggle in this challenging class, but I had no idea that one teacher would be able to help me overcome my weaknesses and push me to become a better student in such a short amount of time. In the course of just 2 semesters, Mr. Sorge has done this and more. His eagerness to help me with my writing, including my college application essays, allows me to test my limits as a high school student, and each lesson in class influences me to look at the world in new ways. The manner in which Mr. Sorge speaks about different books or stories intrigues me to read them and to receive from them a similar experience. He knows when to be critical and also when to be encouraging at times that will benefit me the most. Mr. Sorge has helped me transform my work into the kind of AP student that I always hoped I would become, but never really knew how to get there. It amazes me how much this AP English class has impacted me as a student as well as an individual, and for this, I cannot thank Mr. Sorge enough.
The next senior, Archita Nath, will be attending the University of California, Los Angeles, majoring in mathematics. Archita, come on up.
Words cannot describe how amazing Mrs. Klein has been to me over the past 2 years. We both bonded over a mutual love for roller skating. She even came to some of my performances. Because of that, and because Mrs. Klein is like the single coolest teacher ever, I was able to talk about school and life in general with her. Physics was always a hard subject for me, so I went in for help quite often, which Mrs. Klein was always willing to do. If I did poorly in something, she told me not to stress out because my life wasn't over. Mrs. Klein even gave personal anecdotes to show how the world would not end over one bad grade. When I didn't get awards for things that I thought I should have, Mrs. Klein was there to cheer me up and tell me that in 20 years, when we come back for our high school reunion, nobody would even remember those awards. All that would matter is what you have achieved since then. And if that didn't work, she would just make me laugh and motivate me to keep going in order to achieve success. Honestly, she's right, because those awards almost don't matter. In a few short weeks, we are all going to venture out into this world, and I am sure we will all achieve great things. Mrs. Klein has even taught me that success does not come through recognition, but through the idea that one does not give up, but rather continues to grow academically and morally. Those are words that I have chosen to live by and will continue to live by throughout my life. Thank you, Mrs. Klein.
Jeff Geis, you would come on up. He is going to be going to Purdue University, majoring in electrical engineering. Jeff Geis.
Many times, the pressures to perform and be constantly busy cause education to feel more like a job than an experience. However, I always find myself leaving Ms. Keller's class feeling refreshed and ready to keep on learning for the rest of the day. Every day, she puts forth her best effort to understand the mindset of the students so that everyone can learn in their own way. After every difficult test, she always talks with the students about what we found was challenging and how we can study better or how we can prepare ourselves so we can perform better on the next one. I always feel that I'm creating an understanding when I attend her class instead of just earning a grade. Ms. Keller understands that no field is isolated, so she makes sure to tie in the Spanish language with technology and history so we can really see the context of what we're learning. She allows us to realize the influence that the Spanish language has on our world instead of just learning the grammatical structures alone. Finally, Ms. Keller sees her class as a group of individuals. These individuals have good days and bad, struggling with work, and have problems with their lives. However, she ends every class by saying, "Have a nice day, and remember to do something fun." Ms. Keller has motivated me to enjoy learning and to try to find a job that I love as much as she does. She's an excellent example of the success one can have by pursuing a field that one has a passion in. I want to thank her for all the help she has given me, and she has motivated me to be a better student and a more well-rounded person. Thank you, Ms. Keller.
Jada Gers, start coming up. Jada will be attending the University of Pittsburgh, majoring in exploratory studies. Jada Gers.
One of the first things that you usually notice about Mrs. Stonich is her love for fairies. However, beyond that, she has an even greater love for her students and a love for teaching. I had Mrs. Stonich for honors English in 9th and 10th grade, and I aided for her in 11th grade. Throughout my years of knowing her, she has always gone the extra mile for her students, both inside and outside of the classroom. Although I started off not speaking much in her class, her support and encouragement allowed me to open up and find my voice. Her class taught me to think creatively and really look beyond the surface. Mrs. Stonich always made time for after-class discussions and the many various debates that a friend and I shared. She truly values students' opinions and works her hardest to let them be heard. Mrs. Stonich has proven to be a positive influence whose unwavering encouragement has made all of the difference in helping me grow. I want to thank her for all that she's done and recognize her outstanding efforts as an educator. She deserves this award and so much more.
The next senior coming up is Marissa Ham. She is attending the College of Worcester, and at the moment she is undecided as far as a major.
A teacher's job is to relay their knowledge to their students. Although this sounds simple, there are so many teachers throughout my 13 years in Strongsville schools who have taken the initiative to go above and beyond. With all of the positive ways that my teachers have influenced me, it was difficult to choose just one teacher tonight. However, there is a teacher who has stood out from the rest over the past 2 years, which is why I have chosen to honor her tonight. The first time I met Mrs. Moon was less than 2 years ago when she was my Ceramics 1 teacher. Since then, I have been her art aide during my junior and senior years, which has allowed me to spend time with one of the best role models. Not only is Mrs. Moon an awesome person, but she is an inspiring teacher. In her ceramics class, I learned the basic skills, but more importantly, she fostered in me a love for ceramics. Her passion for teaching is evident in the way she believes that every student can create artistic masterpieces, and how she works to help them achieve this goal. But her teaching does not stop in the classroom. When I needed help building a portfolio for college interviews, Mrs. Moon was there to help me, staying after school to teach me new techniques to create pieces that would strengthen my portfolio. Although her input did help me to win an art scholarship, what I truly gained from our art sessions was an example of a teacher who genuinely cares for her students. My time with Mrs. Moon has inspired me to seriously consider a career in art, even possibly as an art teacher. When I think of a person I aspire to be like in my career, it is her. She once said that your life can be like a fairy tale if you make it, and she has done this with her life, and I hope to do the same with mine. I'm going to miss every Monday going to art club and hearing about the Moon Cats and her various life experiences with their little seeds of advice in them. But I'm excited to see what the future holds for both her and me. Thank you for everything, Mrs. Moon.
Katherine Hartig, if you would start making way to the podium. She is going to be going to the University of Alabama, majoring in mathematics.
I've had some amazing teachers throughout my years attending Strongsville City Schools, so this decision was very difficult for me to make. However, I realized that some teachers just go above and beyond in every way possible, and Mr. Klein is definitely one of those teachers. From the very first time I met him, I realized that he had a passion for teaching and a passion for math that is uncomparable to any other teacher I've ever had before. When I was in his class, I was genuinely excited and just really wanted to take the notes and all the tests that he had, all the way up until the bell rang. Outside of class, he always had a positive attitude and is always willing to help anyone and anything that just either needs homework help or just help in general that night. He has instilled in me my love for math and my love for learning that I will take with me for the rest of my life. Mr. Klein has always been a fantastic role model and a fantastic teacher, which is why he has not just made an impact on my education, but an impact on me as a person too. Thank you.
Next senior coming up is Nora Hassan. She will be going to the Kent State University. I'm also an alum, so Ohio State doesn't get all the fun. The Kent State University, majoring in speech pathology. Nora Hassan.
When looking at the best moments in my education, I always think about my last 2 years at Zellers Elementary, when I had the pleasure to be taught by Ms. Gnezda. Education really began to have an influence on me in these years when I was actually excited to be in the classroom with an educator who believed in not just expanding her students' ability, but also developing a personal connection with them. Ms. Gnezda was able to invoke and focus a class full of 5th and 6th graders, and I remember we were accepting of her methods that challenged us as well as made us feel a sense of accomplishment. Not only is Ms. Gnezda an exceptional educator, but she also brings a great energy to the classroom and to everything she does for her students in her school. There were countless laughs and memories created as Ms. Gnezda brought the class together and made sure each individual was developing to their best abilities. Having her as a teacher and someone to look up to for 2 years, I developed habits and attitudes that would stick with me for the rest of my education. Ms. Gnezda left a mark on me as an individual, as well as Strongsville City Schools as a whole, as a teacher and as her caring personality that gives each student the knowledge needed to grow up to be a successful individual. Thank you, Ms. Gnezda.
The next senior coming up to the podium is Samantha Hudson. She will be attending Ursuline College in the fall, and her major is math and math education.
I can safely say that much of my memories of the first 2 years of high school are shrouded by the lens of sleep deprivation. But somehow, amidst the blur of textbooks and soccer fields, my French teacher, Madame Vendetta, is still clear in my mind. To this day, I don't think I've had a class with a more widely varied group of kids in both interest and abilities that came together quite like our class did. Madame certainly had a major hand in making this happen, as she helped us to see the good in one another despite our glaring differences. Her influence was best received through her patience and dedication towards each student. Additionally, my class got to grow with Madame as she tackled teaching new courses and using new textbooks. Such situations did not always provide for the smoothest of school years, but the grace and poise with which she handled each bump in the road was an excellent example for each of us. On a personal level, Madame Vendetta was a mentor to me. I began the messy process of finding who I was not only as a student in her classroom, but as a person overall. From academic dilemmas and the usual high school drama to respectable discussions of community and world issues, Madame patiently worked through it all. I never left a conversation with her without gaining a new perspective. The two most important lessons that I have learned from my time with Madame are that learning is more than grades, and that no matter how difficult they may be to deliver, kindness and respect go a very long way. My biggest thank you to Madame Vendetta is for her willingness to see each of her students as individuals who will, in some way, make an impact on this world, and for pushing each of us to discover what is truly important. Even though I ultimately decided that French was not my passion, she is one of the main reasons that I have decided to pursue teaching as a career. We need more educators like Madame Vendetta in the classroom. I hope, Madame, that I can thank you not only today through my words, but through my actions as I attempt to pass on all that you have taught me to my future students.
Paige Ingram is the next senior to come up. At the moment, she is undecided as far as where she will attend in the fall, but she knows that she wants to major in mechanical engineering.
Looking back on my educational experience at Strongsville High School, there is one individual who comes to mind that I could not imagine my high school career without. Mrs. Klein is an impeccable teacher who approaches every aspect of physics with such ambition and excitement that it shines through to her students like myself. Walking into the doors of my physics room junior year, I was worried about what challenges this class would bring. When I met Mrs. Klein, all my worries were alleviated, for I knew she would work just as hard as I would to ensure I understood the concepts and ideas of physics to the best of my ability. She is one of the few teachers I see every year working to improve her own teaching techniques to become a better physics educator for not only herself, but most importantly, her students. She, along with her husband, Mr. Klein, are the people who ignited my interest in physics and mathematics. Without Mrs. Klein, I don't know if I could say I feel confident majoring in mechanical engineering next year. Taking AP Physics with Mrs. Klein my senior year has only furthered my appreciation for her teaching and my love for science and mathematics. AP Physics is the one class each day where I feel comfortable and prepared to embrace every new challenge due to Mrs. Klein's hardworking and motivating personality. She sees the person I want to be and helps me reach my goals, one being to focus on learning rather than my grades. She is not afraid to push me outside my boundaries and cause me to think differently. Her determination to be the best she can be, as well as her constant efforts to help her students, makes Mrs. Klein a role model I will continue to look up to. She has always been there for me, whether it be by answering my many questions a day or helping me through a rough time at school. I look at Mrs. Klein as not only an amazing teacher, but a friend I can count on in the ever-changing world around us. Thank you, Mrs. Klein.
Andrew Mackovic will be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in electrical and computer engineering. Come on up, Andrew.
Mr. Harbart's dedication to the music program at Strongsville High School showed in his work. Giving up countless weeks of his summers, hours of his weekdays, and many Friday nights throughout his career shows how much he truly loves music and how much he wanted to share that passion with his students. Throughout his time at Strongsville, he created a positive environment for music education that inspired and encouraged me to go further than I had previously anticipated in the music program. His stories of what he accomplished throughout his music career gave me perspective through real-world examples of great accomplishments in his field, which is simply something that not many others in any given field have to share. These success stories, as well as success stories of his past students that he has shared, showed me that it is possible and reasonable to aim for exceptional goals. Out of all my teachers throughout my education, this characteristic was unique to Mr. Harbart, and is why I decided to choose him as my most inspirational teacher.
Madeline McMillan is undecided where she will attend in the fall, but she will major in science. Madeline, would you come up, please?
Mr. Tomino is a teacher and administrator unlike any other. He teaches wholeheartedly and prepared me not only for his class, but other subjects like psychology and life itself. Every day in class, whether it be in non-Western studies or AP government, he taught in a way to have everyone involved, even shy freshmen like I was when I entered high school. His class was one of the first in high school where I felt comfortable to raise my hand and broke out of my shell. Mr. Tomino helped me grow into the person I am today. Mr. Tomino helped me grow into the person I am today through all of his support and caring personality. He would stay late after school whenever we wanted for AP prep. He brought us in bagels and donuts, and of course he gave us the never-ending papers and handouts to prepare us for the tests. His class was full of laughs, all about life, and most importantly, learning. Thank you, Mr. Tomino, for all your support and dedication over the last 4 years.
Jeff Miles will be attending Cornell University, majoring in statistics. Jeff.
Sixth grade with Mr. Mason was when I first got my real taste of critical thinking and the opportunity to take a step ahead in my education. He realized and helped me realize that I have serious potential and that school is just more than just a dull continuum of worksheets and tests. Although I wouldn't recognize it until years later, Mr. Mason's support was the main reason I became so enthralled by mathematics. I remember him occasionally approaching me with math puzzles or procedural shortcuts that were beyond the lessons I shared with my peers. Without this, I'm not sure I would have had the confidence to place into the most advanced courses and end up where I am now. Some of my favorite memories of Mr. Mason are his efforts to liven things up in the classroom. Every once in a while, he would participate in what were known as the Office Chair Olympics. After making sure to buckle his bike helmet, he would attempt to propel himself across the classroom in his desk chair as we, the students, cheered on. These sort of outrageous activities and stories provided just enough excitement for I and my peers to be enthusiastically dedicated to his teachings. Ultimately, Mr. Mason's encouragement and eagerness to get the best out of his students uniquely shaped my high school career. His class was the catalyst for my belief in my intelligence and work ethic, so I have no doubt that he has had the greatest impact on my education. Thank you, Mr. Mason.
The next senior coming up is Carter Ostrovsky. He is going to Penn State University in the fall, majoring in mechanical engineering. Carter.
I would like to thank Ms. Williams for being one of my favorite and most influential teachers over the past 12 years. As a 10th grader who had taken honors courses since middle school, I expected my English 10 honors to be like any other English class I had in the past. I would read the Spark Notes online and slide my way to a low A without putting in much effort. I didn't like English and didn't care to learn what it was really about. Mrs. Williams changed that for me. The first in-class essay came up the first week of school, and I received my worst grade ever. I was really worried about my grade and my ability to succeed in her class and future classes, so I went to talk to her about my writing. After our talk, I was determined to prove to her that I was capable of so much more, and after the next essay, my grade skyrocketed. Even though I still had a lot to fix and learn, the improvement I made in a few short weeks made a big impact on me. I continued to talk to her about my writing, and my appreciation for the subject grew with my abilities. I found myself participating in class more, really reading the stories and novels, and putting in a solid effort. I would like to thank Mrs. Williams because she taught me how to push myself, how to come back from failure, and to love reading and English as a subject. I'll never forget everything you've done for me.
Mary Owen will be attending Miami University in the fall, majoring in microbiology. Mary, if you would come up to the podium.
I have had the honor of knowing Mr. Gunther for my 4 years here at Strongsville High. I first had him as a teacher during my freshman year, and now I've had the honor again to have him during my senior year. As an educator, he has always gone above and beyond in order to meet the needs of his students. And he has always been there to support us. Inside the classroom, he makes notable efforts to tailor his lessons and to engage all of his students, regardless of how they learn. He continually made himself available to give us assistance if we needed it. And he also realizes that we face many challenges outside of his classroom and sympathizes with our struggles while offering his advice and encouragement whenever possible and if asked for or needed. I have received both of these things specifically within my opportunities to work with Mr. Gunther as my advisor for Encounter Bible Study. I have been involved with this group throughout my 4 years of high school, and I have seen how much of Mr. Gunther's heart that he has invested in us. During my junior and senior year as one of the leaders of the Bible study, I have often looked to Mr. Gunther as my personal mentor, and he has always made time for me. He has listened to my struggles and to my fears, and he has always been there to guide me down the right path. He has been a voice of reason and reassurance, and he inspires me to become a person of value and integrity like himself. I can honestly say that I call Mr. Gunther my friend, and if I grow up to be anything like him, I will have lived a successful life.
Mary Papandreas will be attending Penn State University, majoring in industrial engineering. Mary, come on up.
The first day of freshman year, I could count on one hand the number of people I knew at Strongsville High School. I remember walking into French class thinking to myself, what have I done? I took Spanish in middle school. Little did I know that it would be one of the best decisions I made in my 4 years here. The first day, Madame Vendetta, then Miss Caraboulad, eagerly greeted a shy me with a huge smile and an enthusiastic bonjour.
What I didn't know at the time was that she would bring this same excitement and energy to the classroom every single day without fail. I grew to look forward to French every day. From freshman year on, for all 3 years, I was blessed enough to have a class taught by Madame. It was her passion for teaching that ignited my personal desire to finally learn for the sake of learning, rather than just to get a good grade. Madame's passion for teaching and helping students grow is not just confined to the classroom, however. In June of 2013, I was fortunate enough to travel with Madame and 30 other students to France and England, a trip that changed my perspective on learning forever. It was incredible to see Madame put so much time and effort into a trip for her students, and to see firsthand all of the culture she had so excitedly described in our classroom. After that trip, it became a personal goal of mine to study abroad in college and see as much of the world as I possibly can. Lastly, and most importantly, Madame Vendetta showed me how to be a better person throughout my 3 years in her class. She is simultaneously the kindest and most caring person, as well as the strongest and most respectable woman I have ever met. Madame took the time to understand me not only as a student, but as a person, and for this, I will forever be grateful. I would like to share one piece of advice that I believe sums up everything I learned from Madame Vendetta. On the last day of my 3rd year having her as a teacher, Madame passed out a sheet of paper with 30 life lessons from her to our tightly knit class. Number 30 read as follows: Love yourself. You are brought into this world for a reason. Respect yourself, believe in yourself, and strive for greatness. Madame, I cannot express enough the impact that you had on shaping me from a nervous freshman into the person that I am today. I am so thankful that you were there to guide me through 3 years of high school. Your openness, honesty, and willingness to help in any way possible are 3 things about you that I will never forget. Thank you, Madame, for everything.
The next senior coming up is Haley Pabari. She will be attending the University of Connecticut, majoring in actuarial science.
Mr. Port was my 7th grade English teacher at Albion Middle School. His class did not impact me for just 1 year, but has impacted me throughout my high school career and will continue to impact me throughout the rest of my education. He helped me realize my strengths and gave me confidence in myself to solve problems effectively and efficiently. Reading Shakespeare as a 7th grader seemed daunting and close to impossible, but with hard work, patience, and careful analysis, I was able to dissect and understand one of the greatest writers in English history, all under the guidance of Mr. Port. His methods and strategies have influenced me beyond the realm of Shakespeare and literature. I used the same problem-solving skills to tackle daily predicaments in high school as well as my social life. Mr. Port has taught me that almost any problem can be solved when broken down to their core and analyzed with great intensity. Thank you, Mr. Port, for teaching me not to be overwhelmed by something new and accepting challenges head-on. Your guidance has allowed me to grow as an individual and will continue to push me in the right direction no matter where I end up in the future. Thank you.
Andrew Rebels will be going to the University of Notre Dame in the fall, majoring in English and Program of Liberal Studies. Andrew.
My first year in the gifted program was the 3rd grade. I was about a quarter of the size I am now. It was strange to leave my old school and friends behind. It was kind of a daunting task, like trading one lifestyle for another. But in hindsight, the trade has been a blessing in my life, a blessing mainly because of Mrs. Kelly. She was crazy, but in the best of ways. Our class would have a bunch of different quirks, and one of them would be pig out day, when we could all just bring in junk food and snack like the little ravenous monsters we were. But my favorite habit of our class would be, because it changed my life really, would be we would get to write stories and present them in front of the whole class. And I wouldn't want to do this at first. I was kind of timid about it. But slowly I came up with my own little series called Medieval Madness. The characters were my fellow classmates, and I would have them going around on adventures and fantastical landscapes. I took pride in my writing. It was something I had never done before, and I was really proud about what I was doing. So this is when I became confident in my ideas, and I've been writing ever since. Also, in Mrs. Kelly's class, I picked up a love for reading. She kept a library in one corner, and we could borrow as many books as we wanted. I remember reading through the entire Magic Treehouse series in just that year, which now would probably take a day, but then was like a reading marathon. I also remember reading Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk, which I thought was the thickest book I'd ever seen, probably a very daunting 200, 250 pages. But I was actually very, very proud that I could read all those books cover to cover. So all in all, Mrs. Kelly led a classroom that inspired pride in ourselves. I got to write and read and engage in what I was coming to love more and more. Considering I intend to major in English or take a route that path, the impact of reading and writing on my life has been enormous. I enjoy doing both now for leisure, reading and writing, and I could think of nobody to thank more than Mrs. Kelly. Really, what I have gained from Mrs. Kelly's class has impacted me incredibly and made me who I am today. I could not be more grateful.
The next senior coming to the podium is Andrew Rudovsky. He's going to be attending The Ohio State University in the fall, majoring in mechanical engineering.
So many Strongsville City Schools teachers have encouraged me to excel academically that choosing just one has been nearly impossible. After plenty of hand-wringing and emotional turmoil, I narrowed my choices to Mrs. Heather Klein, Mr. Kevin Klein, Mr. Mike Scott, and Mr. Bill Sizz. After further agonizing deliberation, I determined Mr. Klein has made the largest impact on me as a student. In my sophomore year at SHS, Mr. Klein inspired me to put forth my best effort in his honors pre-calculus class with both his enthusiasm and personal coaching. I was having a little bit of a sophomore slump, and he helped me through that. His attitude towards learning influenced me not only in his class, but also in higher level math and science courses. This past year, Mr. Klein has organized a team to compete in Moody's Mega Math Challenge, a national math modeling competition, and invited me to be a member. It was an intense 14-hour, one-day competition that was a worthwhile experience for all involved. I believe that seeing our team working together, using the skills that he taught us, deeply moved Mr. Klein and was one of the best expressions of gratitude that we could give him, despite us not realizing it at the time. So now I have the chance to formally acknowledge the teacher who changed my outlook on learning. Mr. Klein's dedication to his work has made a huge personal impact on me, which I will proudly carry with me as I enter college. Thank you, Mr. Klein. It has been a blessing and an honor learning from you.
Rachel Sharippa will be attending the University of Akron, majoring in business. Rachel, if you would come to the podium, please.
In 8th grade at Center Middle School, Ms. Schley was my teacher for first period French. It was the first class I took that was a high school level course, but I was quickly put to ease with Ms. Schley's warmth and guidance. She cared deeply for us more than her first period students. Ms. Schley was a type of mentor to whom I could ask for help on a homework assignment or linger after class for just a few minutes to chat. My favorite memory with Ms. Schley is going to a fondue dinner at the Melting Pot with a close group of our French class. I would like to say merci beaucoup to Ms. Schley for every moment, both in and out of class, when she paid extra attention to us, lent an ear to any of our problems, and was just a lot of fun to be around.
Next senior coming to the podium is Drew Shepard, who will be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in mechanical engineering.
Mr. Tomino has and still remains the most influential educator in my life. No one specific memory or anecdote may serve the purpose of summating what he has done for me. It is instead more important to look at who Mr. Tomino is as a teacher, assistant principal, and mentor. Taking his class was a pleasure, and so much could be taken from not only the lectures and information, but from the way he taught. Always energetic, always willing to answer any question, Mr. Tomino taught inspired. He had a passion for what he did that showed day in and day out, and it is something that I will never forget. This past year, however, he became an assistant principal. Although he was not the principal for my grade level, that did not stop him from keeping an open door and finding time. This prior summer, as I picked up my parking pass for the school year ahead, I ran into Mr. Tomino. One of the first things he said to me was, "You know where my office is. If there's anything you need, anything at all, don't hesitate to stop in." This calm demeanor, his friendly attitude, and his care for others, whether they are a current student of his or not, made him the clear choice for my nomination. Any teacher that can make AP Government a student's favorite class of the day deserves the recognition. So thank you for all your support, Mr. Tomino.
I didn't realize Mr. Tomino was skimming off the top of my class there. That's nice. I could send some students down to your office, Mr. Tomino, if you want. The next senior coming up is Caleb Thomas, who will be attending Ohio Northern University, majoring in mechanical engineering.
In my time at Strongsville City Schools, I have had energetic teachers, talented teachers, caring teachers, and great teachers. Mr. Klein is one of those great teachers. He's one of the very few to bring in all three of those elements into the same package. Very few teachers have made me so excited to come to class every day as he has. Mr. Klein has challenged me in the classroom the way very few others have. I struggled more in his class than any other class I've ever taken, and I don't know how, but I loved it. Mr. Klein, in addition to challenging me, has also become my friend. Whether it be making fun of my beard when I forget to shave, saying I look Amish, or trash talking about an upcoming dodgeball or basketball tournament, Mr. Klein has become one of my close personal friends. Thank you.
Sarah Taliski is undecided of where she will attend in the fall, but she plans on majoring in psychology and Spanish. Sarah, if you would come on up.
After having Miss Keller as my Spanish teacher for 2 years, I can't say that I would have wanted anyone else. My Spanish career with her started my junior year in her 8th period Spanish 4 honors class, and the love of language that she's instilled in me has carried me through AP this year. Upon entering her class last year, I could tell that I was going to enjoy it, not just because of the students, but because of the way she ran her classroom. Speaking only Spanish for 50 minutes a day straight was definitely awkward at first, but I can honestly say that in her class, I've progressed an incredible amount in speaking as well as listening. Even though my grade in Spanish stayed pretty consistent throughout all of high school, I felt so much more confident in my talking. My grade was not even a factor anymore. I was no longer just a Spanish student, but I was a Spanish speaker. Another thing I really like about Mrs. Keller is that she gets to know all of her students who walk in the room. She has their personalities, interests, and everyone's siblings memorized like the back of her hand. Well, I suppose some might call this weird. I call it undeniable proof that she cares about her job. She also isn't afraid to share anecdotes about herself. I don't know how many stories I've heard about her dog, but I enjoy the fact that Senora doesn't try to be someone she's not. She's not rigid, she's not dull, and she's certainly not shy, and I love this about her. She's able to laugh and joke and make real conversation with her students, which is nothing but helpful when you're speaking Spanish. Senora Keller doesn't have to treat me like a favorite for me to love her. She helps everyone when they need it and is refreshingly lenient with makeup and homework if you're having a bad day, and she doesn't ignore it. At the same time, she still makes sure that everyone's progressing in the language. I think that many of those who don't like her simply feel that way because they don't put in their 100%. In which case, I hope she keeps up the excellent work she's doing, because I feel prepared for college-level Spanish, and I owe most, if not all of it, to Miss Keller.
The next student coming up is Venkat Tondapu, who will be attending Youngstown State University Neomed, majoring in biology, chemistry, and has been pre-accepted into medical school. Venkat, come on up.
Mr. Boyle's teachings went beyond the scope of the classroom, and eventually he became more than a teacher to me. He became an inspirer. Nowadays, we have this perception that teaching is nothing more than the regurgitation of facts, that the focus does not lie upon learning, understanding, and application as it does on memorization and consumption. That being said, there are still teachers out there who are able to peel back our school walls and show us a glimpse of the reality outside our doors. I'm happy to say that Mr. Boyle was one of those teachers, and I am even more proud to say that I had him as my 8th grade social studies teacher. From his real-life examples to our in-depth class discussions, Mr. Boyle went beyond our textbooks and let us interpret the history that was taking part before our eyes. Yet, there was more to Mr. Boyle that made him such an impactful person on me. Coming into middle school, and many of you won't believe it, I was not a social kid. I was just a kid who didn't really understand much about social customs and found myself, in a sense, isolated from others. That changed, however, due to Mr. Boyle, as he was like a modern Thoreau and taught me that we must strive for individuality and be unique rather than the same. That being said, it would be a shame if I did not exemplify his teachings and stood here and did not embody the uniqueness he taught me. Therefore, I once had a teacher named Mr. Mike Boyle. His classes were electrifying like a Tesla coil. I had a blast every day as his class was so cool, as we had these discussions that went far beyond school. I was the student and he was the teacher. Our open-ended discussions were the best doggone feature. But there was something more that Mr. Boyle gave me. It was a lesson in who I was, my identity. He taught me to go beyond the walls I saw and shape my mind from something so raw. For this, I must thank him and let him know he has affected me more than any award could show. Thank you, Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle wasn't able to be here tonight, but I still really want to thank him. So.
If the medical degree doesn't work out, I'm going to buy 10 of whatever you're selling, Venkat. And I'll vote for you like 3 or 4 times in the same election. I mean, that's awesome. The next senior coming to the podium is Maria Vargo from The Ohio State University, or she will be going to The Ohio State University, majoring in political science and international relations. Maria.
All right, well, I don't have a rap for you guys, but I'm going to do my best here. All right. Mrs. Vendetta was more than just a French teacher to me. In fact, I feel more confident saying that she was practically my second mother. Although over the 3 years that I had the pleasure of being her student, she taught me many things about the French language and culture. I feel even more strongly that she developed me into the person that I am today, as well as the person I hope to become in the future. Mrs. Vendetta not only shared with me her love of learning, encouraging me to one day excel in the field of international relations, but I truly feel that the reason she has had the greatest impact on me was that she was the first teacher to ever truly care about the well-being of each individual student that has set foot in her classroom. She is truly the kindest person with the biggest heart that I've ever met. To say goodbye to our French class on the last day of school, Mrs. Vendetta passed out a paper that would soon become the most impactful worksheet that a teacher has ever given to me. On this simple sheet of paper, there lay typed up approximately 30 of her greatest life lessons, all wise, well beyond her age. Some of them were funny, like lesson number 28. Buy lemonade from little ones selling on the street. If you get the heebie-jeebies and don't want to drink it, guilty, perhaps just give them $1. They will love you. Or number 10, don't put on jeans right after you lotion your legs. You don't need that frustration. But no matter how hard I try, I always manage to forget that one. In fact, the greatest lesson Mrs. Vendetta taught me didn't come from a French book or a grade in a test. The greatest lesson Mrs. Vendetta taught me was that it's okay to be human. It's okay to make mistakes. She states in lesson number 21, when you're wrong, admit it, and when you're right, be quiet. And I'll be the first to admit that I have spent far too many times after the shower using every power of my being to pull on those jeans after convincing myself that this time will be different, but it never is. Whatever I tell myself, the fact is we're all just human. Sometimes you just pull and pull and pull for something, but no matter how hard you pull, it still just never feels right. And Mrs. Vendetta truly showed me that it's okay to change your dreams, because no one can define who you are and who you become but yourself. Being her French student for 3 years, I truly believe she knows me better than any teacher that I've had thus far. She's helped me through college decisions, written countless recommendation letters on my behalf, was always a friendly face to go to, and even a shoulder to cry on. As an overachieving part of the top 5%, she has shown me that I don't need to become the President of the United States to make an impact on the world. I can touch the lives of others through my words and acts of kindness, just as she has to so many students so far simply in her first few years of teaching. Mrs. Vendetta emplaced her love of learning on me while simultaneously caring deeply for each of us. She's become one of my greatest role models, and I am so lucky to say that I've had her as a teacher. So in conclusion, I would like to end with a few more of Madame Bedetta's life lessons that have personally impacted me and that I think we can all learn a little from. First, perfect is not always perfect. Second, be true to yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Third, never underestimate the power of a smile. Fourth, if your dreams don't scare you a little, they aren't big enough. And finally, love yourself. You were brought into this world for a reason. Respect yourself, believe in yourself, and strive for greatness. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bedetta.
Andrew Way will be attending The Ohio State University, majoring in mechanical engineering. Andrew, if you would come to the podium, please.
Although every teacher I had was influential in some way, none of them have been as significant as Mrs. Klein. She makes physics interesting and exciting with her fun yet challenging projects such as the construction of the trebuchet. She even makes me look forward to going to school in the morning. I usually never desire attending class, but Mrs. Klein's class is different. I've had physics as my first class for these past 2 years, and the only time I can remember not being eager to show up are those grueling test days. Frequently, Mrs. Klein cracks jokes and tells stories about Mr. Klein during downtimes to help the class relax. She's a teacher that actually makes learning fun and has inspired my decision to study engineering.
Can we have another round of applause for all the honorees this evening? It's truly an inspiring evening to hear our best and our brightest recognize their most influential teachers. It quite frankly, it heartens me and it inspires me to work harder and do more. This is a great evening for me personally as the principal of the high school to see what we do here, to see the impact we're having. Thank you for being here as parents, grandparents, spouses, for coming out and supporting your children, or some of our staff members. It is truly a blessing for you to be here and be a part of what we're doing. In close, I need to thank a few people to make sure for all this that went on tonight. We need to thank Scott Benson and the television crew for being able to film this for us. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank Mr. Breckner for being here this evening and representing us as the administration of the senior class. Thank you, Mr. Breckner. And I need to make sure I thank Charlene Thomas, my secretary. She's the one who organizes everything, puts it together, makes sure students are turning in the proper forms, make sure staff members are notified to be here. All the things that put this evening together behind the scenes, she's responsible for. I know she's not here this evening. Let's give her a round of applause. And if you're wondering about the programs on the table here this evening, they were left there intentionally. That was not an accident. We purposely don't pass those out to the very end because the staff members do not know who's recognizing them. All they know is they're being recognized. So we have a little fun with that as they come in this evening. They're not sure who's going to recognize them. So we will put them on the back table if you want a program for your scrapbook. Just remember the evening. Certainly pick one up. You can take a couple. We want you to have those, but that was intentional. So if that If that was uncomfortable for you, I guess I'm sorry, kind of, I don't know. But we'll probably do it again next year, so if you come back again, you can anticipate that in advance, I guess. Once again, thank you for being here. We have light refreshments in the cafeteria. Feel free to stop. We'd love to hang out and talk with you for a few minutes and congratulate you on this event. And as in all these evenings, go Mustangs.